Okay. Um, so anyways, it's good to see you. It's good to talk to you.
Yeah.
This is
It's good to
nice.
see you too. I know, a little reunion.
I don't know if you knew, but Cynthia was a mentor
Really?
yeah, she was a mentor this year,
Oh.
and she was like, "Oh, Genesis, do you remember when, Ari used to, like, chase you around the school to, like, make you, like, have meetings with her because 'cause you'd always forget?" And I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Yeah, I understand her now."
Oh my god. Oh, that's good for her.
Yeah, yeah, it's been awesome for her. Um, so anyways, I guess
Sorry. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi kind of cut out.
oh, no, it's okay. I think it might have been me.
Do you think that was helpful though, me being a mentor? Be honest. Be
Yes,
honest.
it was definitely very helpful.
Okay. That's
It
good
would
to
as much as I seemed, because honestly, I also feel like I seemed like I just didn't want any part of it.
hear.
But I think it was just also a really tough transition for me, to be honest.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
was really hard. I struggled a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I was still struggling until last semester.
Yeah.
Um, but
You're
it
doing
was
better?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Que bueno. It's always gonna be a challenge. New challenges literally every year. Pero, the just do it, girl. Just do it.
Yeah,
Get your
no.
bachelor's.
I'm literally just trying to like, okay, just one day at a time. Like,
Yeah.
let's do this. Let's get this degree.
Mhm. Qué bueno.
Okay. Pues let's start.
Okay.
First I'm gonna introduce myself, then you can go ahead and introduce yourself. Obviously, you know me already. I'm
Mhm.
Genesis. I was your mentee my freshman year, your senior
Mhm.
year.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm a journalism major and I'm originally from Honduras, but I've lived most of my life in Baltimore, Maryland. And yeah, that's a little about me. Now you can go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Ariana Herrera. I actually graduated from Trinity last May 2024, with my bachelor's in psychology and a minor in education. And like Genesis said, I was her mentor. So I was part of the Dream peer mentor internship there at Trinity. And yeah. Oh, I'm originally from Mexico, but I my hometown is Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I went out of state for college and I went to Washington, D.C. to do my bachelor's at Trinity. And then now I'm doing a PhD here back in Milwaukee.
Yay. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you is when and where were you born and did you grow up there?
Yeah. So I was born July 31st, 2002 in Jalisco, Mexico. I was born in a very small town known by Casas Caídas, which literally means fallen houses. I don't know why it has that name, but I actually immigrated with my parents to the US to here in Milwaukee or Chicago at 2 years old. So I did live for 2 years in Mexico in my hometown. I have no recollection of it. There's only some pictures of me with like family over there and like me walking the streets over there. It's a small town, everyone knows each other. It's a beautiful town. So no, I did not grow up there. I grew up here in Milwaukee on the south side. Um, yeah, should I talk more about that or is that good?
No, it's okay. That's good.
Okay.
Question number 2 is did your parents or guardians work outside of the home?
Yeah, my whole life, my dad has always worked outside of the home, factory jobs, landscaping, and then recently he started his business of landscaping. So
Oh.
sometimes now he works from home because we work on things together, but he still like works like labor. And then my mom here and there, she would be mostly like a stay-at-home mom. Some years she would start working. Right now she's working third shift. So it just kind of varies with her.
Okay, great. And what do you remember about the home you were raised in?
Yeah, I was raised in different homes growing up. Like, my parents would rent either attics. Well, we started off in an attic, in my aunt's attic that was kind of like a house. Um, but it wasn't like much. We started renting there, and then it was my aunt's house, so, like, I would play with my cousins, so, like, I always had a warm meal, I always had, like, a bed to sleep in, but it definitely wasn't like a house. I We rented basements, like, people's basements that were turned into homes, most of my life until 2010. That's when my parents bought their first house. And then in 2010, we obviously started living here, and that's where we've been ever since. It's been really great having my own yard growing up. I'm the oldest, so I would always make friends with like neighbors, and we would just kind of play like in the neighborhoods. I've always been really outgoing, so like always playing like outside. Um, and like my dad would buy us like trampolines to have in the yard, so we'd like have a trampoline or like a swing set or something. So I had a really good childhood. My parents definitely made sure that like they'd take me to the park. We'd always have I have a huge family here in Milwaukee, so when there was a party it was like a huge party. So yeah, fun childhood for the most part.
That's nice. I mean, yeah, I think I'm definitely still in the stage where we're renting out our place before we can buy our own house. I mean, I'm hoping that me being here in college and getting my degree will mean someday I'm gonna buy
Yeah.
a house for my mom. Um, but yeah, just looking forward to the future here. Um, and my next question for you is, how would you describe your childhood and teenage years prior to college?
Yeah, so like I said, for the most part, definitely very fun because I had young parents, so they were like in their 20s when I was growing up. So like it was good. Like, they did fun stuff. Mostly my dad, like he would always like tell me bedtime stories, take me to Chuck E. Cheese, like go to the park, like hang out with the cousins. So it was for the most part fun, but there was definitely, those challenging times. Um we were immigrants, right? So we didn't know a lick of English. So literally at 4 years old, I had to start translating for my parents. And me barely knowing like English, like I didn't know anything. My K4 and K5, it was bilingual school, but it was really Spanish. I didn't really know anything. So yeah, we would like thug it out like during those moments, even to Walmart to we could because back then it was only like English speaking employees. So it was tough. And I remember my dad would get mad at me sometimes because I wouldn't translate correctly, because something went wrong. They purchased something that wasn't right. I couldn't read a letter that came in the mail. It was a lot of pressure. And I'm the oldest. So it was on me to handle things at a very young age, payments, bills, call this person, call the city, like a bunch of stuff. And I think that's kind of like that really made me who I am today, like kind of like a go-getter, let me take charge of things. But I'm in a meeting. Sorry. So that was tough. Also, living low income, having those moments where like you just feel the racism around you. Or like I wanted to go somewhere and my parents didn't want to go because they know that people were gonna be staring at us because there was only white people in there. Or having those moments of um like what is it called, like black on brown crime, like I don't know how to say it, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like within minorities there's racism with each other, so having those really bad experiences with people of color treating us badly, because we're some Mexicans. um it was rough. It was rough like that. Racism within my own education. I went to Catholic schools, um, which were predominantly the students there were all Mexican, but the teachers were like Polish descent, so they were white, and they were nuns, some of them. And back then in the early 2000s, todavía like they were mean. They were like super mean. Things that right now would not, like, it would be a whole lawsuit. So yeah, being having those microaggressions, you couldn't talk Spanish in school, things like that, like really. Now looking back at it, I'm like, dang, I was attacked here and there just for being like Mexican. It was crazy. Um, but we always push through it. So yeah, we've always been very a strong family, and always like just at the end of the day, we make each other laugh. At the end of the day, we're together. We have a roof under like our heads. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of my childhood.
Yeah, and honestly, just hearing, like, your experience, it, like I don't wanna be, like, mean or anything, but, like, it makes me sad because, like, I see myself in that too. I feel like maybe that's why I'm also, like I look up to you a lot. I don't know if you knew this.
Oh no,
Um
thank you.
But, yes, I like, me like, growing up and I still have to do, like, everything and anything for my parents when it comes to, like,
Yeah.
translating and doctor's appointments and all this kind of
Yes.
stuff. And
Yeah.
then, like, also when I first moved to the US, what you mentioned about, like, racism within minorities, it's a very real thing. And
Mhm.
I think also, like, what shocked me the most is sometimes there's also, like, racism between Hispanics. Like,
Yes. That's
I
a big one
remember
too.
yes, my first year in the US, I went to a school and it was predominantly white, but like, the small amount of Hispanic kids, they were mostly Mexican.
Mhm.
And they hated me.
Oh my
They
god.
hated me for no reason. Cause I think okay, actually, no
Mhm.
reason, it's not true. I think I don't know if you knew this, but, like, Honduras and Mexico, they kinda beef over, like, soccer, which is, like,
Oh yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a real issue for us to be beefing like this. Like, come on, bro.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, just, I
Yeah, no,
relate.
that's true. It's like things, especially like those were kids. You were kids, but it's like if you hear that like at your house, you don't really see the bad in it. You're gonna defend your country because
Yeah,
that's what you're learning at home. So
yeah.
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So the next question here is what did you want to be when you grew up?
Um, that one's hard. I wanted to be a lot of things. I wanted to be a news reporter, a journalist. I wanted to be on TV, an actor, possibly a teacher, but then yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but always something with like talking, or like I've always wanted to have my office. Like I always wanted to have like I'm writing and I'm going here and I'm talking to these people. So that's why it's been like kind of like trying to figure out what to do with my life. Um, so yeah, I definitely didn't say as like a kid that I wanted to be a psychologist, which is what I'm studying for now. I just didn't know about it, and I just didn't think about it. So I wanted to be like all those things that I mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, same. I thought I was gonna be the next Beyonce when I was little, but
You sing?
no. Like that's why I'm like, that was kind of ridiculous. Okay, anyways, the next question is what brought you to Trinity and was it your first choice for college?
hmm no, it was not my first choice. I didn't know about Trinity until I literally arrived there. I went to Trinity because I got a scholarship called the Dream.us. Um, and they had, when I was doing the application, they had a list of colleges, and because I at the time was interested in international affairs major, that's kind of the one that appealed to me the most in terms of like they have the major. It's in Washington DC, literally where the president lives. Like I was like, okay, this one seems like nice. I didn't think too much of it because I didn't think I was gonna get the scholarship because it seemed like such a huge scholarship, like full ride, like what, like okay, let me just apply. I wanted to here in Milwaukee. There's an all-girls school called Alverno. That's popular. UWM, which is a state school. Um, yeah, my first choice was Alverno, just because they gave me the most amount of money. But I would have had to pay half of tuition at the time, and they weren't trying to give me more, so I ran out of options, and then I found out in March of 2020 that I was accepted to the Dream.us, accepted into Trinity, and then like within a week, like it just happened that I'm going to Washington D.C. So yeah, I didn't know anything about Trinity before coming there. Which is funny though, because like it kind of ended up being in Alverno, because it's a small all girls school, Catholic school too. So just kind of like aligned in that way. Um, and then yeah, I remember arriving to Trinity, like, whoa, like always Trinity to me always looks like a Harry Potter like type of vibe. Um, so yeah.
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 So, how much did you learn about Trinity's history while you were a student here?
Not much, to be honest. Not things that's really stuck to me. Like, I forgot when they were founded, but I know that they were founded by sisters. Um, and then I know that at the time when it was made, it was during the times where like college for women was like really rare, I think. Yeah. No, I don't really know much about the history. Yeah, I learned some things like in terms of the like I think before it was just alumni or
Yeah, like
May.
the basic stuff they tell you at commencement and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like they'll tell you a story and things like that. But yeah, I don't really know much else.
It's okay. Yesterday we celebrated Founders Day, so I'm guessing that's when the school was founded,
Oh,
April
okay.
23rd, some year.
Some year, yeah.
Were you the first person in your family to attend college?
Yeah, I was the first person to go to college and to have my bachelor's.
Yay. Um, how well did your high school experience prepare you for Trinity?
It was actually really good. In terms of it was predominantly Hispanic. So within that department of like being around like black and brown people, it was great. It was like a smooth transition. Um Academic wise, super good too. I went to Carmen High School here, which is like pretty good school. They like literally taught me how to do SMART goals. They taught me how to do like essays, how to MLA sites, how to like those basic stuff that you start doing with CRS or English, those English classes, your freshman year. So like I already knew how to do a lot of that stuff. I had my resume done. I had done mock trials in high school, so I already had some like experience interviewing. Um, Community service. They like it was like mandatory to graduate. They're really like on us when I attended the high school. So I think I was very well prepared to like tackle the academic side of Trinity.
Great. And how would you describe your experience at Trinity?
Whew. Oh my god. That was an era. It was literally a whole era. Now that I like am over, like I'm done with it, I'm like, oh my god, like that's a huge part of my life. Like it's just one huge section. You know what I mean? Start and end. Like it has a start and an end, especially because like I moved from there. I don't see it anymore. Like that's it. It was I don't even know how to describe it. It was so crazy. It was amazing. It was all the emotions. Um Academic wise, I think I thrived a lot, which I'm really grateful for. I think that's those small campus allowed me and my personality to like it combined like academics with my personality, and like it really pushed me for my to like keep going for my passions, to care about the world, to do work that matters for community. So yeah, I love that. The professors, oh, so good. All of my professors were amazing. Um, let's see what else. The people that work there, like the employees, some of them, but like a good majority of them, like the ones that work maintenance and the ones that are in the cafeteria. I mean, I know they're probably gonna switch throughout the years and stuff, but yeah, they made me feel like, my uncle, my aunt, my mom, my dad. So I like those moments. It was kind of grounding, especially being away from home. Friend wise, oh my god, I literally made friends the first day of the school, like when it was we were moved in. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that there's just a lot of dreamers, so we're all just kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, they're all from different states, and we're all just like, let's stick together. And some of them, most of them, ended up being like my best friends, like, forever, even though I'm not with them anymore. Like, they came to visit me, and during Thanksgiving, two of them, they stayed over my house, so like,
Oh,
friends for life. um but I also had, like, those relationships that, I started dating somebody, it didn't work out, and like those that personal life, growing up in my, what is it, late teens, early 20s, away from home at college at an all girls school where visitation is very limited, and you feel like you're like on an island and you can't really talk to boys. It's weird. I hate that part of, like, I kind of hated that part, and I still do. Like, ugh, it creates this tension with like the males, where I'm like, I just want to be friends, but for some reason I feel like there's like tension here, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
it was so like prohibited at Trinity.
yeah. Yeah, I would say I kinda like I don't know if, like, love is the word here. No, it's
Ugh.
definitely, like, I don't know, it's just it's a situation where, like, sometimes we'll have, like, the occasional field trip where we'll be put, like, at a different school,
Mhm.
where there's boys, and you get, like, straight off the bus, and everybody's like, "Oh my god," because 'cause
Yeah, you're
they're
like a
all
guy. There's a
yes,
man.
like, everybody's blushing, giggly, like, this is the time of our lives because it's like we're so secluded here to each other, and again, because it's also such a small school, we already know every single person on this campus.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah.
Also with like like, if you're meeting a friend on campus, like, oh, you'll see them and just for a couple minutes and that's it, you know what I mean? And like, I, how do I explain this? Like, if you want to bring a boy over, they got to have their ID, they got to have all this personal information. So really you're only bringing someone like your boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
like,
because,
that's
like
the only interaction you're gonna get, cause
it's like, how do you ask a random person to give the school their social security number and all this, like, government
what?
information? Like
Not the social.
well, no, like, I'm being dramatic, but, like, you
Okay,
know what
okay.
I mean?
I'm like, yeah, no, but for sure, I'm like, I'm not gonna tell someone to do that, dude. Like, I'd be like, whoa, where am I going? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yeah, that part's weird. But other than that, academic wise, it was great. The girls love them.
Yeah, okay, so did you experience any challenges at Trinity as a woman of color?
Um, I don't know. I don't think so. I think for the most part, like now being at UWM, where there's predominantly white staff, I think I had it really good at Trinity. Like, comfortable. I don't know. I guess with administration a little bit, like trying to, even though it's a Hispanic and Black serving institute, like, you still gotta push for like modern, like, community events. You still gotta bring your own culture into it, and have events approved, things like that. So I guess that's kind of like some obstacles, some challenges, but I feel like that comes with everything. And if anything, it's good practice for the real world. Um, so I'd say no for the most part.
Okay, and how welcoming was Trinity to gay and queer students when you attended?
Um, hmm. I feel like they were accepting. Like, it wasn't much of a topic as far as like there's an issue. Um, Maybe just because maybe I just didn't experience anything like that. Um, I know there ended up being a club which there wasn't one before, called the Rainbow Space, I think it's called. Um, which I thought was pretty cool. So I guess I'm thinking there was like some sort of lack of community of LGBTQ plus. But I don't really know like if Trinity had been supportive or not beforehand. Um, I know there's girls that I've met, that are gay or lesbian or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Um, and I don't think they really ever had an issue with like people attacking them or feeling unsafe. Um, so yeah, that's all I can really say about that.
Okay. And did you have a mentor or role model here at Trinity?
That one was hard to get. I feel like I really needed a student mentor at the time, which I had a big sister, but she was great. She's great. I love her. But we were just in different fields and like we would hang out, but it was more so like a friend, not really like academic mentor. I ended up having Dr. O'Brien as like a mentor. I kind of consider her my mentor. She really taught me the ways around the psych world, the psych program there at Trinity. Janet at the time, my advisor, and Rosa too. Even though she started right when I left, like she's great. So I'd say the Dream.us advisor is like a mentor for me. Who else? Yeah, that's I feel like those are the big ones. Um, yeah, so more so like the staff at Trinity was like my mentors.
Okay. And how would you say that these people contributed to your academic and personal growth?
So Um, personal in my personal growth, like Janet was always there for me because she knew the life of an undocumented student. So I could tell her anything, whatever I'm feeling that day. And she would either relate to it, through like family hardships, anything around that nature, or she'd just be there and be like an ear, and just kind of have my back regardless. So having that safe space really helped me grow. And because I want to be like her, those moments of like being there for somebody, like basically she taught me how to be there for someone within the academic world, which is what I try to translate with my mentees, like with you guys. Um, so I feel like that's where like the personal and I guess career wise too. Academically, when I was applying to my PhD programs, she was on me, like she was being mean, which I needed, which I wanted, at the time. She was like, "Okay, do you have this done? Why not? What's the problem? Like, why are you not doing it? Like, no, you need to work on this, you need to work on that. If you really want this, you need to do this." You know what I mean? And some people will take that the wrong way, but for me, I needed that because I'm a huge procrastinator. So I was like, oh, like I have to do a personal statement and write all this and write all that. She would be on me. And I think that pressure of like, I don't want to be embarrassed that I didn't do it. And also I'm kind of scared of her made me do it, So because of her, honestly, is why I'm even in a program. And O'Brien too. She wrote, I'm pretty sure, a really amazing letter of recommendation for me. So did Janet. Um, and she really pushed me. She always encouraged me. And she always let me know that like I'm doing amazing and keep going. And she was even the one that told me, hey, you should consider a PhD. Um, so that's how they helped me.
Aw. Okay, so the next question is, can you tell me about one or two historical moments that occurred while you were at Trinity that moved you emotionally?
COVID. COVID. COVID was crazy. It was like a ghost town, and it was just me and all the dreamers there. Um, and I guess during that time was like the Black Lives Movement too, and the storming of the Capitol. So a lot of the race war was happening, like the war against the elites and police brutality. And I think that moved me as far as like there'd be those moments where I look at the city of Washington, D.C., and I'd see all the sadness, like all the oppression of the government, and I'd feel icky, like I'd feel really sick. Um, and like that made I feel like that pushed me to be even that pushed me to go into psychology because it kind of made me like, okay, like the government's corrupt. Not saying everyone in the government, not saying the whole government is corrupt, not by any means. But I don't know. I just was like, there's a lot of injustices, and there's all these people suffering. And if I really want to help somebody, why don't I just let it be a one by one, a one to one relationship? How can I do that? Psychology. I could be a psychologist. I can let people know about mental health, especially for undocumented families that can't go to the doctor, or like school, like in schools, I can spread the word for kids and families and be that person. Um, so seeing those seeing people just struggle over there in DC and being at Trinity and within my classes, learning about corruption, learning about injustices historically and like right now in today's times, kind of pushed me to be like focused on social justice, which I have always been, but it really, really taught me like the ropes of it more. And I love that because it, instead of keeping me away from it and keeping it strictly about math, strictly about science, strictly about this, it like incorporated into the curriculum, which I think makes me like a great leader and like just a great person in general. So emotionally, like those moments plus Trinity, yeah, it's been a lot, but it's been a good impact, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't wait until I'm contacted like 10 years from now for the same project, and then I can talk about how I was here when Donald Trump won a second time.
Yeah, I
That
cannot
was
even
great.
imagine. Was everyone sad and crying or like
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. It was I was actually not expecting, like, what happened after. Like, I was expecting people to be upset about it,
Mhm.
but everybody was really upset. Like, going to class those 2 weeks after he won was like torture because it
Really?
like, yeah, literally, like, people would just sit there and just, like, nobody could get anything done just thinking about what had just happened, and also,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure, um, once they started announcing like, Trump started announcing the raids and everything, we got, like, there was a rumor that was being spread here at school that the school was gonna get raided by ICE. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It ended up just being a rumor again, but, yeah, those 2, 3 weeks, the whole month after he won, it was just awful.
What were like even the professors too, or
I don't know. I don't know. I could definitely feel like a lot of professors were upset about it. Like they were just like, "Oh, like, this is unbelievable, like that this happened."
mhm.
But the major like outpour came from the students.
Yeah. Yeah, I wondered when that happened. I'm like, I wonder how Trinity is. Like, I wonder how the students are, because I remember the first time that they won, that Trump had won. I was in high school, and it was exactly what you're describing. Everybody was crying. Everybody was scared. Even because a lot of the teachers there are Hispanic. Um, not all of them, but some of them. Like, it was like everybody. Like, it was like a funeral. Um, so that's yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but anyways. um what did you do after receiving your undergraduate degree from Trinity?
Yeah, I moved back home. um, just because I had gotten accepted into the PhD. So I enjoyed my summer here at home. Um, and then I started in August or like late August, early September, my program, and I've been doing it ever since. So I kind of started school right after Trinity, which is really, really rough on me. It's been really like rough.
Yeah. Do you
um
feel like you're kinda getting the hang of it now? Or is it still, like, very
It's still very rough. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's really rough. Like I'm being challenged to a whole nother level that I've never been challenged before in my life. And I think I'm also burned out a little bit. I'm just tired from doing school for what is it? I mean, most of my life. So yeah, I think right now I'm trying to focus more on my mental health, on my well-being, on God. So I'm kind of involving myself again in the Catholic Church and kind of seeing like how I fit in and like what it means to me now. And it's bringing me a lot of peace and a lot of happiness,
Mhm,
just putting my trust in God. So I'm not worrying. I'm trying not to worry too much about the PhD,
mhm.
because there's those weeks where I was like, I feel really dumb. Like, why did they accept me? I can't think of a new idea to write. I would read and I'd be like, okay, but like, what can I say? Um, because you're doing classes and you're doing research and you're trying to do good in your class, but you also have to present like something to your advisor. And overall, like no one, I think I put the pressure came from me, from myself, not like the program. Um, but it's hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah. Um, what professional accomplishments are you most proud of?
Mm, I'm proud that I did really well at my practicum for IE in Trinity. I did it at the Laurie Center in Rockville, Maryland, and it was so good. Like I worked with children 3 to 5 years old that had either behavioral, cognitive, or like a social emotional disorder. Um, and I learned a lot from the teachers and like from working with kids and how like those early ages um kind of they were like the theories that I was learning in class, I could see some of them being played out literally in the classroom. So that was really cool. And I got a really great feedback, a really great letter of recommendation. So that felt like a really good accomplishment that I could be like a teacher, I could be an educator or like a good difference for kids. Um, what else? Um, the fact that I got scholarships, I feel like has been a highlight. Kind of like something to not brag about, but like it's saying like I get recognized by institutions. So Trinity, Dream.us. Even here in Milwaukee, I applied for some scholarships in high school and I got them. Even during college, actually, I applied to a credit union here in Milwaukee, and they helped me out. They literally gave me $1,000 because they believed in me. So it's just like things like that right now that those are kind of like my professional accomplishments. What else? Mm, sorry, my memory sucks. But yeah, I'd say for the most part, just being recognized by the places that I've been.
Okay. And what personal accomplishments are you most proud of?
Right now, my biggest accomplishment is taking mental health breaks. Like, I actually know what that looks like now. Like before, yeah, I would like be like, okay, self-care day, like, cause that's what I needed. But now it's like it's a whole different level for me right now. So a big accomplishment is focusing on my mental health, praying to God, like spiritually too. Like I feel like I'm doing better in that area. Um, being there for my family, and that we're all okay is like an accomplishment in itself for me. Um, I started running, so I go to a run club now. I'm doing like a lot of active stuff. Literally trying my best to just better myself through all forms. So those are my biggest accomplishments right now.
That's awesome. Um, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Yeah, I want to be someone that like I help someone else achieve their dream. Like my I want to be known for somebody that like pushes you to accomplish your own dream. My focus has always been on like kids, on high schoolers, on even college students. like just telling them like do it, like you can do it too. Like what is the insecurity, what's the problem, okay, let's address it, let's fix it. um and yeah, just someone that really makes a difference, like whether it's like one life or many lives, like just someone that provided a resource, someone that provided an opportunity. Yeah, so like that, like personal impact that I was talking about.
Okay, and what does the world need to know about Trinity? What does the world need to know about Trinity alumni?
So the world needs to know that Trinity is where all the, how do I say it? All like the future leaders and those people that can literally change the world are at Trinity. And there's so much like potential at Trinity that if you give a chance to anyone at Trinity, like it's an investment for whoever that is. Like so it's an investment, a great investment to invest financially, academically, like I don't know, job wise, like the people that are at Trinity are people that want to better themselves, want to better the world, want to better their family. And we're all very hard workers because we come from families that are hardworking. And we're all just trying to break generational curses. So we're always going to present ourselves with the best, with our best face. And yeah, Trinity has a lot of potential, and the people in it are really, really special. As far as Trinity alumni, people should know that they're doing great things in the world, and they're also still surviving, at least in my class, doing their best that they can, trying to either create and be there for their future families, or like you said, buying a house, you know, for the families that we have now. Um, and yeah, I think Trinity in general should be known to, the people in there are already special beforehand, but Trinity is like a safe space where they can grow their minds and continue to work on themselves.
I agree. And then just two more questions here. The first
Yeah.
one is, what is one vital piece of advice you would give to current and future Trinity students?
Yes. Right now, current students do internships. I always say this, like literally do internships, like put yourself out there, even if you're scared, because you're like, okay, I'm in college, like I should have, if I'm doing this internship for this computer tech or whatever it is, the hospital, whatever it is that you're gonna do, and then you feel like, oh, but I don't know about this subject, or I forget about this, and what if they ask me and I don't know anything, like I'm not a good fit for this internship, or you know, like you're scared to put yourself there because you feel like you're either not deserving of it or you're not knowledgeable enough. Let me tell you, that's the perfect time for you to make mistakes, for you to just be yourself, literally be there, because that's the time. It's like a practice run. Even though it's a serious thing, you know, you're going to be talking, be at real like institutions. It's literally your practice run. And that's where you're going to meet those people that will give you a job afterwards, or those people that know somebody that will give you a job afterwards. So do internships, don't be afraid, talk to your professors. Like I'm sure all of this is advice that you've heard before, or you guys, whoever is listening to this. But it's because it's true. Like it's true. Like your social capital, oof, it's so valuable. If you're lacking in financial, get a social capital. It will help. Um, and then for future students, if Trinity is not somewhere that you wanted, I totally understand. However, um, just take advantage of Trinity because it's small. So you have a lot of power of like what it can become.
Okay, great. And the last question is, what do you hope current and future Trinity students will do going forward to preserve the university's legacy?
Um, I guess make something of themselves. Like I just hope that everyone there, even if it's not necessarily a job, some will become moms, stay-at-home moms, or like life will take you anywhere. But hey, maybe they know about a subject that they learn in one of the classes, or I don't know, just like all these things. Um, I just hope that they take something, a little piece of whatever it is that was either taught or that you learned being at Trinity. But yeah, overall, I hope that we all like succeed and make something of ourselves.
Okay, that was great.
Yay!
Yeah, that was the last question. So thank you
Okay.
so much for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you for meeting with me. Thank you for being open to sharing your story. And yeah, just thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It is. Wait, but like I have a question. Like, will this be like you will show this to people, or are you gonna write it up in your own words, or just
Okay,
curious?
wait. Let me just stop the recording real quick.
Okay.